It's an event that a lot of people are looking forward to. Apple is set to unveil new products tomorrow, and we are expected to see an iPhone shakeup. To break it all down, we are now joined by Abrar Al Heeti, the senior technology reporter from CNET. And Abrar, thanks so much for being with us. First off, tell us about what you know about the iPhone Air.
I wish I had all the secrets. I wish I could reveal them all to you, but all I'm going off of is rumors. And there have been so many rumors about the iPhone 17 Air. And essentially what it would be is a thinner iPhone. So you'd have something that potentially is 5.5 millimeters thick. Compare that to the iPhone 16 Pro, which is 8.25 millimeters thick. So just for comparison there, how much thinner it would be. And it would kind of follow this trend where, companies like Samsung have released thinner phones. And so maybe Apple is saying, thin is in and we want to join the game too. And so it would be something that is lighter in your pocket and lighter in your hand, maybe not lighter on your wallet, but we'll see about that.
However, the new edition, it actually won't even be the only option. We're also going to see the iPhone 17 as well. What
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
So the iPhone 17, what's interesting here is that's kind of been buried. That baseline version has been buried under the iPhone 17 Air and the Pro versions. But one of the big things that I am really excited about potentially happening is that phone having a higher refresh rate. Let me break down what that means. So essentially, if you have a Pro model iPhone right now, you have what's called the always on display, where you can see the time even when your screen is off and you can see all your notifications roll in. You need a higher refresh rate for that. So it's possible that the baseline iPhone 17 model could get that too, so that you could have that feature that previously only those pro models got, but you wouldn't have to pay as much money for it.
And what do you expect from the new Apple Watch as well?
Yeah. So, one of the things that Apple is doing is kind of similar to what everybody else is doing, which is tying in AI into everything. So, one of the things that Apple has released with watchOS 26 is something called Workout Buddy. And what this does, it's supposed to essentially encourage you, it's like this friendly voice and that gives you real time data analysis just to encourage you, whether you're running or whatever kind of workout you're doing. That's one of the big things we're expecting with that new software update. But the other things we could see is a more energy efficient screen with that higher resolution, more brightness, things that we tend to want to see, especially with something that you're wearing on your watch, maybe in bright sunlight. And then we could also see the Apple Watch Ultra 3, which is that bigger display. It could last a little bit longer. And one of the big things that we're hoping to see is also satellite connectivity. What that means is you can contact emergency services, even if you don't have cell service.
Do you feel like there's any Apple fatigue or phone fatigue in general right now among consumers?
One of the things that consumers want is something fresh. So yes, they are looking at the releases every year and they're saying, well, why would I upgrade my phone if the new phone looks so much like my current phone that I bought 2 years ago or 3 years ago? So what the Air could do is essentially shake that up and say, here's a totally new device, completely reimagined. It feels different. That could tempt people to upgrade. But the things people always look for is good cameras and long battery life and decent price. So if Apple can hit those three things, then it's possible people might be persuaded to upgrade.
And what role will AI take in all of this?
One of the things we might not hear as much about is AI. I'm sure we will. There's no way we're not going to hear about it, but it'll probably be those kind of more baked in features that we heard about with the release of iOS 26, which should be coming soon. But we're probably not going to hear about an upgraded Siri. Now, that's something that Apple talked about last year. It's going to get smarter, more intuitive. That has been postponed, and it's probably going to be postponed until spring of next year. But we'll probably hear things, like in messages, you might get some upgrades there too. You're something called priority notifications to kind of show what to prioritize, little kind of incremental upgrades in the way that you use your phone that hopefully you don't feel.
Another big day in Apple's history tomorrow. Abral Al Heeti, senior technology reporter at CNET. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you for having me.